Mm, I want to see for on first. Alright, fine, we're on. So this was what you gave me, right? And like I said, the reason why the background is changing is because there is some element of JavaScript to it. So since we are not doing JavaScript, we're only doing HTML and CSS, we have to choose one picture that will stay. All right, but first of all, let us do this navigation thingy you're seeing here, this navigation bar. Let us do that first of all. So, sweet Jesus.
Sorry, ma.
Thank you. I don't think my camera is on. Okay. So there are two types of navigation bar. I'm very sure if you have seen navigation bars that look like this. You have seen the one that come like this. Like this place here is a navigation bar. This place here is a navigation bar. So remember when I told you that a website is just like a book, just that in what's it called? In books you have pages, but in websites you have links that link you to different pages. This entire page is the CSS page. If I click on HTML, it will take me to HTML page. If I click on JavaScript, it will take me to JavaScript page. So this, because they also link to different pages, yeah, they are also called navigation bars. So we're going to do both of them. All right,
Okay.
because I'm struggling to talk. So
Sorry.
a navigation bar is just a list of links. It's just this right here is just a list. Ah, it's so sad. Don't come on to. Okay.
Hello, ma.
You're back, Abby. Okay, hold on. Let me switch my Sims because this phone is already low. I didn't even know it was low. So let me switch to my own.
Okay. Sorry. Please. Mm.
All right, I'm back. So sorry. Can you hear me?
Yes, my can.
All right. So wait, wait, wait. So can you see my screen? All
Mm,
right.
yes.
There are two types of navigation bar, right? So we're going to do both of them. So navigation bar is a list of link. All right.
Yes, ma'am.
So you can see it here. So the thing with navigation bar, let me see. Let me open my VS Code so I can show you something. So because navigation bar links to other pages, right? It links to other pages. So it's going to be a link in a list form. So you'll be putting the address of the pages that you want to link to. So in our case now, you already have your profile page, right? It's not your profile page. You actually did the profile page for a wrestler, right? You have that already. So we're going to do one for that your school websites that we're trying to clone. All right. So for instance, yeah. So let me see. Where is? Let me see. Let me see. Mm, okay. So let's start with the vertical navigation bar. All right. So this is the vertical one. Okay. Okay. So this is a vertical navigation bar. It's almost like what you have here. It's almost like what you have here. Okay. I think the only difference is that this one is tightly packed together, and let me see, what's the difference? Mm, sorry. Yeah, it's almost the same thing, just like the width is smaller. Okay. So how do we do this? First of all, hopefully you can see my screen. Hello.
Hello, my can see yes, ma'am.
Okay, so I'm going to do it one by one. I don't know why. I'm going to do it one by one. So the first thing you want to do, hold on.
Hey.
First thing you want to do, hold on. All right, cool. So I'm going to delete all the I'm going to delete all the CSS for now. I'll come back and do it. So like I said, it's a list of link. Now you can see I showed you how to do a list the last time. Okay. Did you just enter? Or did somebody just enter? Okay, it's just you. So I taught you how to do a link the last time. Sorry, a list the last time, where I said you use UL, right? And then you use LR. Do you remember that?
Yes.
Do you
Yes.
remember? Or do you need me to do a mini revision?
What is the mini revision?
I'm asking you if you remember. There is no need for a mini revision.
I think I remember now looking at it on the screen.
Okay, so where you have unordered list and ordered list, then before you write what you want to list, you write L1, you go ahead, let's say I want to list T, then I cover it, okay, and then I do another one, let's milk, what am I doing? T, close it, I want to list milk, and then I close it. Okay, and then I close the UL, and I said this was this was an unordered list. This is
Yes.
how you write an unordered list. So if I run this code now, it's going to give me tea and milk. And if I want an ordered list, the one with numbers, I'll use is OL and OL, and that will give me the one in numbers. So it's basically the same thing. It's just that in this case, we are using unordered link, and inside the lists element, we are using links. All right. So you can see this is a link, href home. So now, do
Grandma,
you yeah?
the network was cut short, so I don't know if you could hear me. Sorry.
Yeah, I was hearing you. Did you hear me?
No, I cannot hear you. I cannot hear anything for a while.
Okay. But you know how to list things like this, right?
Yes.
So is exactly what we are doing here. We're doing the unordered list there. And in the LI, instead of listing things, we're listing links. You can see this is a link. All right. So this is after you have done your LI, you open your link elements, ahref, whatever. So now this, for instance, I think what's the HTML what's the name of your HTML page?
Zeme.
Eh?
Zeme. My name.
Okay, dot HTML, right?
Yes.
Okay, so that's exactly, let's assume that you want to, this particular navigation bar, I'm going to give you as an assignment. So what you are going to do is that the first one will lead, okay, let there be a home button. Then the second one will lead to that your page. So in your href, what should be here is, um, let me see, how do they write it in VS Code? Okay. So what should be here is index.htm. So your own should be, please spell your name the way it is in VS Code.
Zemen.
M-E,
Zemen.
Z-E-M-E, M-E-M, right? Dot
N.
H-N, okay. Dot HTML. Okay, so this is how you will link that page to, because you're going to create a new, HTML file, okay, and you're going to do this navigation on that HTML file. Do you understand? So the HTML file, the first thing that is going to be there is this your navigation. All right. So you would have your home page. You can have your home page. You can have a contact page. You can have an about page, and then you can also make this. What's the name of the wrestler?
Alright.
Spell it, please.
Roman. The ring.
Roman Reigns. Yeah, just put Roman. I don't.
So,
So
though,
yeah,
I should put my HTML link as a link there, or what?
yeah. Your HTML will be the link. If
If I
I'm
run
not.
it, will it open?
Yes, if you click on it, it will open.
Okay. But it will be on a new HTML file.
Yes, it will be in a new HTML file. You cannot do it on that HTML file, but still in the
Okay.
same folder. Like, for instance, let's assume this is your Zimmer folder now, where you have, I think your images are there. You have your index.html and everything, right? So all you
Yeah.
just need to do is create a new one like this. Just create a new one, and then you can call it anything you want to call it. But just know we're going to try to clone your school website. So you can call it anything you want to call it .html. So that would be two HTML pages. Do you understand?
Yes.
Exactly. That's how it would be. So when you do it like this, right? It's going to, let me show you an example just to be sure. Because like I said, I'm not feeling fine. Let me know what I'm saying. I'm
Fine.
struggling to concentrate.
Fine.
Yeah. So let this one close. Let this one now open. We'll check. So this is how you're going to now, because for the home page, you can make this particular new page that we're going to do. So let's assume you name it school website.html. Maybe that's what you named it, right? This, you can make your home page this link, so that when people click on the home link, it will take them, it will remain on this page. So just make sure you have um 4 navigation, or as many as you want, but since we're only building 2 pages, it's only 2 that matter. All right. So you can do it like this. So for all these other links that we don't have where we are linking them to, but we just want to leave them, you can see what they did. They just use a hashtag or hash or whatever you call it, and then just give it anything. It doesn't matter. All right. So the browser will recognize that it is a dummy link. It's not going anywhere. Okay.
Okay, ma.
Okay. But like I said, your home page should be linked to this your new page that you're doing, and this one should link to the other HTML that we've done. So now this is a list of link. This is a link like this, and you can see it's in between the L1, the two L1. The next one is also between the two L1 till you cover it, right? So when you run it, this is what you get. Let me remove this one that's under here. When you run it, this is what you get. Now we're going to use CSS to now style it and make it and turn it into this in a link, a vertical. I think we're doing vertical. Let me see. Yes, and turn it into this. So the first thing you want to do, sorry, hold on, because yeah. So the first thing you want to do is to select the UL element, all right? Let me copy this setting. So the first thing you want to do is to select the UL element itself, the list itself, okay? You select the list itself. So now you're not going to tell the browser, right now the list style type is bullets. These are bullet points by the side. Where is this extra this thing coming from? Where is this coming from? Because I don't see it here. There's an error somewhere. Oh, okay, yeah. There's no UL is not covered. I didn't close this tab. So let me see. Yeah, that's better. Oh, okay. Let me remove it. Okay. Sorry. So right now it's a bullet style, right? So when you select your UL and then you tell the browser, I want the list style type to be none. Let me see if I can. Yeah. So you tell the browser, I want the list style type to be none, right? So what this will do is it will remove these bullet points here. Okay. That's the first thing that it will do. It will remove that bullet point there. So if I run it now, you see now it's gone, right? That's wonderful. So the next thing, oh yeah, you're just coming in again. I didn't even know you left the class. Can you hear me?
Sorry. Yes, I can. The
Okay.
network is just.
Yeah. So I was saying that, hold on. I'm coming. I'll handle that later. So I was saying that the first thing you want to do is to tell the browser list style type none. Before it had bullet points there. There are two types of list style. It's either you are doing the bullet one or you are doing the numbered one. We have ordered and unordered, right? So now you are saying that you want. Are you still there?
Yes, ma'am. There.
Okay, because it keeps going. So we're telling the browser now that we don't want it to have anything, whether it is numbered or bullet, we just want it like that. Okay, so the second styling you're going to do, so you're going to remove the margin. So as I told you before that all elements have margins around them. All of them have margins around. There's a margin here and there is a margin here. So what you want to do is remove the margin. And this is especially difficult if you are doing a horizontal navigation. This is important if you're doing a horizontal navigation bar. So if I remove the margin now, this is what happens. Let me run it. Okay, so we remove the margin and remove the padding. One of the things I've come to realize is almost like a rule that you remove the padding or the margin, because right now I just remove the padding and the margin is still, now the padding is gone and the margin is gone. Oh, margin is the space around it, padding is the space inside here. So now that we've removed the margin and the padding, you can now see it is now standing on its own, right? Any questions so far? Any
No.
questions so far?
I said
So,
no.
yeah, I heard you. So, the next thing you now want to do is that you now want to increase the width. Now, because it is a vertical, what's it called? Because it is a vertical navigation bar, right? Let me see. So this width we are doing now, you won't see it now until, but the width they are talking about, you can see how short this place is, right? If I make
Yeah.
this 500, all right? If I make this 500, see it's longer, but because we are doing it one by one, you will not see it now until I put this background color there before you see it. So that's basically what the width here is doing. You are increasing, you want to make it long. You've removed the padding around it, so right now it's at 200 pixels, and the next thing you want to change, now we want to add the background color so that you can see this width there. So let me give it a background color of, okay, this is a gray background color, but they're just using numbers. But just know that this is a gray color. Let me see. If I
Okay.
decide to, let me make it red first. Let's say we give it red and then run it, you see it. So if I make this 500, sorry, if I make this 500, it's going to be longer. All right, but let's just leave it at 200 so that you can see what we're doing. So that's the first thing you want to do. You want to style the UL elements the way that you want it to be. All right. So the next thing we're going to do to achieve this thing right here is that we're also going to select the list and the link itself. So why there are two, hello. Are you back? Are you back?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So I was saying that you can see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. So I was saying that after we've done this, let's not make this red. Let's give it the color that they gave it before, because that color was nice. Let me try gray. I don't know if gray will work. Will I like gray? Okay, let's leave it at gray. All right, fine. So the next thing you want to style, we want to style the individual, what's it called? Now you know that UL is just like the container. If you notice, it is not touching any of the write up inside. It's just the surrounding, removing the space around the container, removing the type of list that is there, giving the container a background color. Do you understand? So now we want to touch the link itself, and that's why we're having two selectors, because if I select only the link, all right, if I select only the LI, then I now have to do another styling for A. So sometimes if you have two elements that you know that you want to give the same styling, you can select them like this. Just select the two of them like this and give them the same styling. So I'll show you how that will work now. So the first thing we're going, oh, sorry. Okay. So the first thing we're going to tell the browser is that we want to display it block. Okay. It's just like, will I call it a rule or something? Because in my opinion, this is already displaying block. Like I told you, block elements always appear after, under each other, while inline elements will appear next to. Like when you have two links, the link will appear side by side because a link is an inline element. But paragraphs, headings, and I think list is a block item, but since we have to tell the browser to display its block, maybe it's not. So I don't make the rules. These are the rules. So you have to tell the browser to display its block. So if I run it now after I've told the browser to display block, nothing really happens. I think it is, well, let me just leave it at that. But yeah, just see it as a rule because I do not have a better explanation to give you. Let me see if they give a better explanation here. Let me see if there's an explanation for it. There's no explanation for it here. All right, so but yes, tell the browser to display its block. Oh, this is not what we're using. So everything is displayed block now. So it's easier to style a block element. Do you understand? So the next thing you also want to do is we want to give, am I doing this? Okay, hold on. You want to change are you there? Hello? 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 Are you back? Your network today is not funny. Are you back?
Yes, ma. So I'm so sorry, ma.
Okay. No problem. So after you have displayed the block, the next thing you want to change the color. Of course, you don't want this blue color. So we're going to give it a color. This #00 means black. Oh my God, he has left again. Oh, you're still here. So
I'm
this
still there.
hash, yeah, let me just make this black so you won't be confused. So this just means black. Okay. And so now you see that the color is black. The next thing you want to style is that you want to give it a padding. Right? No, let's do text decoration. Oh, you know what? Don't worry. Let me do text decoration first. So the next thing you want to do is text decoration here. So I'm picking them one by one. That's why I'm deleting, because I want you to see what individual styling is doing. Okay. So the next thing, I know I've taught you about text decoration. Now most links are text decoration underline, but now we're going to make it text decoration none. All right, so now if I run this, I don't know why it's not running. Is there a mistake somewhere? Okay, so now you can see it, there's no underline. So now we want to give it a padding. Okay, we want to put space in between. So I'm going to give it a padding of, I think I'm done with this. So I'm going to give it a padding of 8px and 16px. So what that basically means, is that, and this is why we chose the li and the a. So now the browser knows that, because it would have been, if I had only selected a and I told the browser to put the padding at 8px, at 8px it means that the top and the bottom are taking 8px, while here and here is taking 16px. There's a 16px padding here, but because we have also increased this width to 200, that's why you're not seeing it. But trust me, you see this padding, this space here, there is also this space here. Do you understand what this padding is doing?
Yes.
Okay, because look at it without the padding. But now if I give it a padding, sorry, if I give it a padding, it becomes better. If I increase the padding, let's say I make this, let's make this 16, and I make this one here 16px, and I make this 20px. So I make this 30px. Okay. So you see the top here is 16, down here is 16. But the top, each of them have padding here. This one too has a padding here. This has a padding here. This top here is what is 16 under and the bottom. Do you get? While at the side, so there's a 30px. Let me see if I don't put the 30px, what happens? Everything will take 16px. Still the same. But yeah, that's basically what a padding does. All right. Any
Okay.
questions?
No, thank you.
Okay. So the next thing you want to design, you can see that if you hover around it, it's changing color, right?
Yes. Why?
So yeah, that's what I'll show you. To do that, we use something called a pseudo selector. It's called a pseudo selector. So what you want to do is, and we use this for most links. All right. So what you want to do is that you want to select the link and the li again, but you can see the difference here. You have this thing here that is called hover. All right.
That's cool.
You have this thing called hover here. So now this tells the browser that, okay, so when your mouse is on this thing like this, when your mouse is hovering, make the background color black. Is it black? What's the background color here?
Why?
Okay, this is like gray. No, the hovering color is like gray.
Yes.
See, it's gray. So that's the color that is. Let me make it gray here. So you're going to make the hovering color gray. So because it's a gray background, that's why we're not changing the color of the the color of the text to white. Because if we don't do this, let me remove this color. When you hover around it, you have a gray background. Let me run it. When you hover around, you have a gray background, but you see, you can't even see. Both of them can have the same color. That's the thing. Okay, so let me give this one the color that they gave it here. Both of them can have the same color. That you won't see it. So let me just put this one here. Because you are putting gray color on gray color, it's not going to show. Okay, so now there's a different color there. So now my gray color can hover around it. Okay, I don't need to change it to white. But let's assume that I had made my background color black. Let's assume I made it black. All right. If I run it and then I try to hover around it, you see, you will not see the color of my right up because it's black on black. So in that case, what you now do, you now change the color because it is inside the hover styling. So you let the browser know that anytime you hover around it, let the background color be black and let the color of the right top be white. Okay, so it will now change color to white when you hover around it. So now if I go, see the color change to white. But you won't even notice. You just look as if,
Yes.
yeah, you won't notice. That's the beauty of creating website. You won't see all the work that goes into it. You'll just be seeing the finished product. Okay, so any questions so far?
No.
So this is how you create a, what's it called, a vertical um a vertical navigation bar. So you can style it however you want. If you want this to be longer, but for for the most part, most vertical navigation bar are usually, I mean, the max you get is this 200, because if you're putting a navigation bar on this side, it means that there are other write-ups here, just like just like this one is a navigation bar. This one, they probably did not put a margin and a padding because they are very close to each other. So I don't think there is a padding there. They are very close to each other. Because if I remove the padding here, you will see to be on top of each other. If I run it, now they're on top of each other. They may have to be a padding, maybe small padding. not as much as we have to create space. Maybe small, maybe 2px, that sort of thing, to create space, because this one is longer. Do you get? And they have more links here. So do you understand this one?
Yes.
Any question? All right. So now let's go to the one that I will give you as assignment, which is the vertical, the uh, horizontal navigation bar, which is exactly what you have here on this place. Okay. Which is this? So tomorrow when we do forms, and yeah, when we do forms, I'll tell you how to do this. All right. So now
Okay, but
let's do the horizontal. Now this is the horizontal navigation bar.
sorry,
There are
ma.
two ways to
What
do.
I'm
Yeah.
making it like scrolling down, that scrolling back stuff at the end.
This there is a way to do it, but to start showing you right now is the problem. Let me show you tomorrow, and please
No problem.
just remind me that I want to show you how to make it scroll tomorrow.
Okay.
All
Okay.
right. So let's just focus on what I'm trying to stay focused. You have no idea. I'm just trying to get through this one. So tomorrow I'll show you how to make it scroll. It's just tomorrow, Sha, don't worry.
Okay.
So now there are two ways to do a horizontal navigation bar. You can use the inline or you can use the floating list item. All right. So now let's use the inline method like this, where you now say display inline. So you know how I told you display block, they will go see, that's what I was saying. By default, L1 Li elements are displayed as block elements. So I really don't know why they now ask us to display it as block elements here. Let me see, if I don't display block here, what happens? Oh, okay, there won't be space there. All right. Okay. So if you don't display it block, although it's displaying as block, but telling the browser to display it as block makes it easy to style, to add patterns and margins. So I guess that's why we're doing that, because display block. Because even though it's displaying as block by default, I can't add padding to it like this. So now when I display it block, I can now add padding to it. See, the padding is now reflecting. So I guess that's why we're doing it. So by default, L1 elements are block elements. However, we remove the line breaks before and after each element to display them online. Okay, so you can decide to, which I will explain, you can decide to do Li display inline. Once you do this, everything will just come on the same line. Or you can decide to float it like this. So we'll do both, don't worry. So that you see, so that you'll not be confused. So yeah, display block allows to specify padding. Okay, now that makes sense to me. All right. So now let us now see how it works. So this is using the L1 float. I think float is the easiest one to do. Let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see, let me see. Let me see, let me see, let me see. Yes, okay. Sorry, I'm coming, I'm checking something.
No problem.
Okay. We're going to check all these ones like this. So. Okay, no problem. So I don't think we have that time, but let's go ahead. So the first one that we're going to check is let me see this one. Okay, so this is how it would go if you display it inline. Then we can now add a lot of things that I want to add. But I want us to use the float method because I feel like the float method is easier. All right, so we're going to use one with the float method. Let's do this. So sorry, I just want to say something. If I delete this here. So if I delete this, I just want to say something.
Okay.
And I said display. So the thing is, I know that it might seem overwhelming. There's a lot of things to learn, blah, 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 this and that. Like, how are you going to put everything in your head? You can see even me, not everything is in my head. Sometimes I'm trying something and I'm discovering something, because you cannot put everything in your head. Don't kill yourself. That's why you have the internet. Do you
Okay.
understand? That's why you have the internet to help you. So display inline. I just want to see if it will still work. Oh, sorry. So if you don't remember something, just Google. Okay, it's not working. So let's leave it at display float. So let's use the float method. All right. Oh, sweet Jesus, have mercy.
Sorry.
All right, so we're going to go through it one by one. Let me open it in a new. Even me, I can't remember all the styling. That's why you see me going to copy and paste. Because you can't, how many things you want to put in your head is a lot. Do you get?
Yes.
So you just know that there are some things that that come naturally eventually, because you are always doing it, you're always doing it, you're always doing it. So eventually they will just stick. Things like padding, heading, margin, border radius, all those ones will stick eventually. So let's first of all, you already know the drill. It is a collection of links like this. It is a list of links like this. You already know this. We already talked about this. So let me delete everything first. Let me delete all the styling. Delete all the styling. Except this one. Okay. So of course, the first thing, okay, let me delete everything at once. So of course, the first thing you want to do is to, just as we did in horizontal, now we have a list of link, right? Why is this different? Why is it writing different? Sometimes the way the browser even works, sometimes I really do not even understand. There's really no reason why this contact is writing different. There's nothing, it's the same thing that is here, that is also here. There's no reason. But anyway, the first thing you want to do is that you want to handle the list container. You want to remove this this styling here. You want to make it okay, let me see. Sorry, hold on. Oh, director is now messaging me already in class. I want you to be bold, and I want you to see it clearly. All right, cool. So the first thing you want to do, of course, you remove the list style type, just like you did in there. You remove the padding and the margin. It's important to remove this one so you can add your own padding there. It's easier to style when you remove the margin and the padding, because if you try to style it, there's an invisible padding and margin on all elements. Like I told you, you cannot see it, but it's there, and it will be hard to style it when it's just like you already have a margin. You want to add another margin, the browser will just be looking at you, that what's going on, choose one. So you have to first remove the imaginary, the one that you cannot see, so that you can add. Now this overflow hidden, let me go and see why they gave an overflow hidden. There's an explanation for it. There is an explanation for it. I just have to find it. Okay, I really can't even find it. Hold on. Okay, so I can't find this, but if I remember correctly, I think it is done because you can have, if you come here, you can have a very, 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 very long one like this. Let me ask ChatGTP why there is an overflow hidden, so that I'm not telling you nonsense. So let me just ask ChatGTP. So sometimes when I have coding questions that I cannot answer, I also ask ChatGTP. It's going to give me plenty run around. Now I don't have strength for this one. Please just log in. I know it has something to do with the length because horizontal bar is going from left to right. So in case you might have so many links and it might not contain the screen, the overflow hidden is supposed to do something. I can't remember how to place it. Oh, ChatGPT wants to stress me. Okay. Thank God it did not stress me today. So let it log in. So let me just quickly exit. Okay. So let me exit what the overflow hidden is doing. Oh, that's not what it's doing. I don't even know what question is. Oh, is that what I asked you? Is that what I asked you? So hold on. Because I want you to understand it. I just don't want to tell you do overflow hidden. I want you to know what each and every one is doing. Okay. So what is the function? Serves a specific, okay. 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 So you can see what it's saying here, that its function, it can prevent overflow. The overflow property specifies what should happen if the content overflow or does not fit the box it is contained within. When set to hidden, the content exceed the boundaries of its containing element. Okay, so basically, for instance, let me see, do I still have this? Hold on. So for instance, if let's assume this thing was very, very long. All right, let's assume it was very, very long. So the browser could interpret it in different ways. It can bring out this scroll thing that you were asking me about, because the thing is very long. Sometimes I think there's a styling for that. But basically, what overflow on will do is that if the content, maybe you have set the width to 200. Are you hearing me?
Yeah.
Maybe you have set the width to 200, and the amount, the items that you have listed, or the links that you have listed, is longer than 200. What overflow does is that it just cuts it off. It doesn't give it a the option to scroll. Do you get? It doesn't give you the option to scroll. It doesn't like I said, the browser can display it in very, very funny ways. So whatever way that the browser is displaying it, by the time you use overflow hidden, it just cuts it off. Anywhere the 200px stop, that's where it will stop. It will cut it off. Do you understand? Let me see if I can give you. This is what I'm working on. Okay, so now overflow is hidden here, right? Sorry, that's not what I wanted to do. Okay, don't worry. I will give you an example when we finish. Let's just continue. But you get an idea of what the overflow is for, right? Hello?
Hi.
Yeah. So you get what the overflow is. Like I said, sometimes the browser can put that scroll bar that you're asking of when the thing is too long. The browser can put the scroll bar so that you can scroll. So by the time you use overflow hidden, it will scroll, it will remove it, it will just cut it off. You won't see it again. It will just
Okay.
cut it off instead of putting a scroll. So that's basically why we're using. If you want to set it like that, some people might decide that, okay, I want you to have that scroll thing on it. Like, I'm trying to, okay, for instance, now this is a very, very long, this is a very, very long one. So I don't know if they used overflow here, but don't worry, tomorrow I'll figure it out and I'll let you know. I can't really remember it right now, but before tomorrow's class, I'll figure it out. All right, so like I said, the very first thing you want to do, you want to remove the list style type, you want to remove the padding and the margin. We've discussed why there's overflow here and the background color. The background color can be whatever you want to. So when we run that, this is what we have now. So this is okay, this means black. So this is a background color of black. All right. And like I said, I really do not understand why that contact is a different color. Even the one you were doing, even the one that you did in your, it also had a different, there's nothing different. I don't know why it's writing differently. There's nothing different.
Okay.
So I really don't understand why it's writing differently. But anyway, back to what we're doing. So you understand this so far, right?
Yes, ma'am.
So the next thing we want to do is that we want to float it. We want to float it left. So you can also use display inline, but because I've never really used display inline to do my browser, I always use floats. So I cannot really explain, but you can still check out display floats. Now, if you float it left is this side. It will go to this side. Let me just show you quickly. This is left. If I float it right, I think the one in your school website is actually floated right. It's easier to, and that's why I like using floats, because then I can decide to put it here, just like your own is at the side,
Yes.
or put it on the left. But let's put it on the left, right, on the left first so that we can see what we're doing. So it's going to be left, floats left. All right.
Yeah.
So now that you've floated it left, they are now standing on, sorry, hold on. Oh yes, floats left. All right, fine. So now we're still coming to make it look like this. The next styling that we want to do. All right.
Yes.
Just like we did for vertical. Just like we did for vertical. We're also going to okay, I deleted this by mistake. We're also going to select the L1 and the link themselves. We're going to display it block. We're going to change the color of this right up to white. We're going to text align center. So each of them will now be in the center. Okay, let me just do it one after the other. All right, so let's display it block and then change the color to white. So now we've displayed the block and we've changed the color to white. Oh, why? Okay, hold on. I wrote it twice. Okay. So now we've that makes sense now. Because we didn't do all those ones. So the first thing we did, we displayed the block and we turned the color to white, right? You now also want to, what's the next slide? Text align center. So when you text align center, if you run it really isn't doing much. Hold on. Let's see the difference. Hmm. Okay, just leave the text align center. I'll figure it out before we leave this class. Let me add other styling. So this padding we're putting a 4px on top of it and under it, and we're putting a 16px at the sides. All right, and we're removing the text decoration. So this up here is 14px. This here is 15px. So the reason why we're selecting the LI and the LA and not just one or the other, when you tell the browser that you want to put a 16px on the right and on the left of each, what's it called, of each link, that's why it's doing it like this. That's why each of them is having the styling. Do you understand? Because the browser is going to pick it one by one and give each of them the styling. Do you understand?
Yes.
And of course, we remove the text decoration none. All right. So the same Hoover thing. I think this one. So you already understand how Hoover works. I'm not going to do this for the sake of time. This is 5:41 already. But you know how Hoover works if you want it to work. But this is basically how you do it. All right. So hold on. This should be able to display. Okay. But this is how you do it, and this is your assignment. It's just that your own, you are floating it to the right, not to the left. Do you get?
Yes.
You float your own to the right and not to the left. So if you use display inline, so for your assignment, if you float it to the right and it appears somehow, just leave it like that. Just bring it for me tomorrow. We'll continue on it tomorrow. Okay, let me just stop here because my head is pounding. So for your assignment tomorrow, this is what just open a new HTML page. All right, open a new HTML page and then do a navigation bar like this, but float your own to the right. Tomorrow we'll still talk more about navigation bar.
Okay.
All right. But this and so you know you have a CSS file in your current HTML, right?
Yes.
You know you have a CSS file. So your new, if you're going to put that, if you want to continue using that one single CSS file, you're also going to link it to this your new HTML page, just like you link it to that one, so that the browser will know that okay, that's where we're copying the CSS from. Do you understand?
Yes.
You can decide to open another CSS file and link it if you want to. That's up to you. But if you want to use one CSS file, which is more advisable, use one CSS file. Any question before I go? You see my battery is low.
No.
All right. So tomorrow, see you tomorrow
Okay.
for this assignment. So I'm so sorry I cannot answer plenty questions today. I'm
No.
not feeling too well.
Yes, boss.
I can't even. So tomorrow I should be better because I'm on medication already.
All right,
All right. Now I'll see you tomorrow.
ma. Yes. Bye.
All right. Bye bye.